here in about 7 minutes. The Bainbridge Company sponsoring the 5-star meter 50. This will be a one-round affair, and will be underway at 9:45. We're about 7 minutes from showtime. underway here in a couple minutes here in the International Arena for our Friday Fidelity Investments Week 5-star, 2-star competition offered here on our Friday schedule. 5-star division riders will be featured next over a meter 50 course and in the class presented and sponsored by Bainbridge Company. Bainbridge, one of the nation's premier owners, developers, builders, and managers of multifamily real estate. Field a 60 will show here as we get underway in just a minute or so, and the time allowed is 75 seconds. 12 numbered obstacles, 15 efforts involved. They'll finish up over the Bainbridge Oxer, heading towards our video board and the announcer and judges position here at the corner. 60 to show, have a midway drag break underway here in just a moment. 5-star action on Friday. horse is on approach and about to get it fired up for the Bainbridge Company's 5-star meter 50. And we have a one-round affair. Time allowed is 75 seconds. 60 to show. We'll have a midway drag break as well.
Very good morning to you, and welcome back here to Wellington for the Friday competition. $62,500. Bainbridge Company's 5-star 150. One-round speed class, as they would put it, but first and foremost, it's a table A, so that's jumping the clear, and then the fastest of the clears will be our winner. So it's first and foremost a jumping test. Top 10 from this class as well, also into qualifying for the Grand Prix, for the Fidelity Grand Prix on Saturday night as well. So also the added carrot into the mix as well. And we're starting off with Kent Farrington. Kent, the rider who's up in our top group, in the world number 3 right now. Kent's with the mare Grey by Colestus, the horse he rode to win the Grand Prix in La Baule in France last year. Of course, he comes in on terrific form as well, having just won the World Cup qualifier in Thermal over in California. So let's take you around the track, designed by Gregory Bordeaux. Lots of lines here to lean more into the speed element. Plenty of space here for the first couple of fences. Double coming up at 3A and B as they take a right turn into that, and then they're going to move off to the left to 4, and then again plenty of room. There's going to be a few of these that are a little more, less about the numbers, more about riding off the eye from that point of view, and heading into a double of verticals at 5A and 5B. Comes on the right up to Anoxa at fence 6, and that'll just give a little bit of the line. Again, plenty of space. There's going to be a plank there that's probably going to fall pretty easily. Loop back here at 8 again, depending on how close you want to run here. Kent with a pretty efficient round so far, as you would expect. Turn back here to 5 stride distance down to the Oxa, heading down to the in-gate. And then they'll come back up the double at 11A and B and to 12 to finish. And then 6 down to the last. Brings them home on a clear at 72.92, so sets a good target for the rest. Whether it is the quickest, we will wait and see. But a nice, efficient round for Kent Farrington and Greer getting back into the mix here. Big field of 60 coming up in our class here for you as well. And right the way through to see some of the world's very best competing here today as we build up to the Saturday night Grand Prix as well. Latter part of the order will see the likes of Jordan Coyle, Richard Fogel, Zoe Conter, Charlotte Jacobs in the final few here to take a run at this class as well. Some good star power throughout this too. Several combinations also with, or several riders with 2 horses in this class. Ansgar Hodges Jr. now with the good Eindhoven ride of the stallion Tulum, the rider who rode the winning round in the Brain Juice U25 team competition just last week, facing off against Nina Malave. And not sure what's anyway pulling up. Is that a fence there? After fence 2, some of them may be heading for the qualifying, and also knowing at that point it might not be enough. Nicola Philipparts, of course, was top of the tree yesterday. Nicola with the win in that Adequan WEF Challenge Cup, now returns with Kunuka de Muse, and that will, of course, put him in prime position for the order for the Grand Prix tomorrow night as well. Nicola with the Belgian-bred stallion, and Mosito van der Helle, the sire of this one. He's had a very good run so far here in Wellington, now on a regular basis, returning through the winter to make it his winter home. The Japanese effect double, based on some of the fence, of course, we saw in Tokyo. Very solid Oxa with the white poles in front of the International Club. This in a similar sort of track of pace to Kent Farrington with Greyer. I say there's a lot of jumping out there as well, not just about putting the foot to the floor. Just a little tight turning into the rustic vertical at the fans. Just puts him on the 4 faults. Just a little bit of a reach coming out the corner. But again, good education for this horse as it moves up in these classes here. Kanokadamu is just a 9-year-old there with Nicola Philipparts. Drops 2 fences, finishing on the 8 at 66.04. Ben Mayer, and the horse he won the MS 150 Classic on last week. Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright's Corlander. Another 9-year-old here, the stallion by Cornet Colbert. Went so slickly and smoothly there on this stallion. Now Ben, I'm sure, going to try and pull something out of a similar vein here. Again, superbly produced. He talked this week on WEF Weekly. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch it. Whether it's on USEF Network or through the Facebook, YouTube from WEF as well. He and Dara Kenny talking about flat work and the work that goes into producing for a show. Nicely away from the double again. Nice, just move away very efficiently, light on the toes. Sits up, gets the balance through that double of verticals at 5. Again, all the use of the balance down to the plank. Very tidily, efficiently done so far. Again, doesn't waste any time as he moves away from a fence. Final line, time from Kent Farrington, 72.92, so he's going to be ahead of that. 69.13 for Ben Mayer and Corlander. As I say, it was a nice round from Kent, but didn't feel as though there was going to be maybe a winning round here, but he was done exactly what he expected to do with a nice round behind them. Similar for Ben Mayer and Corlander, just nicely, efficiently done for Ben. With the 9-year-old stallion to go into the lead at 69.13. But if somebody's really racing to the blocks, there might be a bit more space in there yet. Henrik von Eckermann, the world #1, might show us the way for the Swede with the portfolio horses Glamour Girl. He's stolen several classes away so far this season with this horse by VDL Zorocco Blue. Now for the world #1, aiming towards King Edward as his ride for the Grand Prix tomorrow night as well. And from what he's shown so far, this pair have definitely got more in the bag yet of maybe what we've seen so far. 69.13 from Ben. May not hang in there too long, but you've got to leave the fences up. So first part of the fence there at the double comes down. Oh, and surprisingly, a second one there as well. Just not quite finishing off through that. Oxa gets them set up once again here. Just going to keep this being around to keep running on for now, and I think might be saying they've done enough at this point. Looks like Henrik going to call an early end to that one as they're not in the frame at this stage. So Henrik von Eckermann retiring there. Katie Diner next for the USA. The Grand Road partners Emiro BZ, gelding by Asker Z. Now for the rider hailing from New York. World Cup winner in Washington 2 seasons ago. Several very good finishes here in Wellington last year as well. Be very interesting to see what comes out. Ben Mayer to come a little later on Dallas Vegas Batty, second ride for him. We've got Rodrigo Pessoa in here with two, number of those in here with 2 rides. Katie, a little bit of a steadier start as well. Now just coming on a nice rolling stride down to the double of verticals efficiently enough, going for the clear in this Bainbridge supported class. Might find several pairings in here who are aiming at the Grand Prix tomorrow night, so getting just a nice round underneath them here. Just a nice efficient round. Down the 5 related line without any trouble. Coming home on the clear round. Ben's time 69.13. Like I say, it's a nice efficient round for them to just step in front there. I think 68.12, Katie Dynan and Amiro BZ. Very tidily done from them. Goes into the lead at the moment for Katie. Leading combination so far in the $62,500 Bainbridge Companies 150. So you still feel they're really rocketing for the lead. There's definitely space in there. Christian Kukuk, the world number 6 and Olympic champion, the Beerbam Stables Espoir Blanc Cristal now, the French-bred gelding by Vigo CC. He's going to be the 11-year-old for Christian. He's pre-qualified for the Grand Prix as well, so he doesn't have to worry about that too much. We'll see whether he's using checker. I think he is, probably tomorrow night too. Just keeping them now at a nice forward pace. Again, you see how efficiently they move away from the double afterwards. It's not land, go a couple of strides and then look for the next move. It's land and move away. Just a little bit looser down to that Oxo, so just on the 4 now. Just tries to take that angle, and just the width catches up with them. So a number of combinations we're also going to be seeing that are stepping up now, which is going to be really interesting to see where they are at the end of the season here in Wellington, end of 12 weeks. So coming home on the 8, 67.78 from that point of view. Like I say, time is beatable from our leader. That's a fast time again. Nicolas Philipparts was around in 66.04. 2 down there for Christian Kukuk and Espoir Blanc Cristal. Tiffany Foster now for the 5 Roosters, with another of the 11-year-olds now in the field. The mare by Comme il faut is Esther. Tiffany now start to ramp things up as we get into the real meat of the season here in Wellington. The big 5 stars Nations Cups over the coming weeks. Of course, next week is a huge week too for the Hunter world as well, as they take centre stage here in Wellington. Plenty of jumping there to be watching too, as we'll head down to the field. So Tiffany revving on up, see what her intentions are. Unfortunately, just flattens and runs through that second nicely through the double. them having too much trouble with that plank, just leaving it delicately hanging there all right. All going to, I think, cut inside there, but again, it's just about getting straight back to that line. Tiffany giving the horse just a little bit more space. Again, some will find that with a little less experience, they've got to play the game however they wish here. Time-wise, just going to be over the 70, 71, 7.22 down for Tiffany Foster this time, and Esther. So Tiffany Foster heads out on the 8 faults there, as have a few now. Jimmy Tarano of the USA, Isaloo and Jet Show Stables, Cuccio Z, gelding by Canaan. Now it will be interesting to see where he goes with this one, because this one has certainly the potential to be a leading combination. Nice to see Tiffany Foster's ride there, going, I say, like several going up into their first 5-star appearances, as they'll jump into the, what I'd refer to the shoulder classes, the supporting classes to the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix qualifier. Jimmy giving just maybe a fraction more pace. We'll see how this figures out. Really pings off to get the plank. Again, it just leaves the opportunity to drift on that turn if you're not too careful. Efficiently done by Jimmy so far. Holds together there. Leading time at the moment, 68.12. This should be pretty good if he keeps coming. Just get a little bit of control there, and looking good. Final fence, just keep driving. There we go, gets over the line, and it's going to be 67.11. Jimmy Tarano into the lead now with Cuccio Z. So now leading combination takes over from Katie Dine and Amiro BZ into this Bainbridge Company's 150 speed, $62,500 class here this afternoon. Well, this morning. It'll probably take us into the afternoon. Laura Kraut now. Stars and Stripes, Emeraldo 4 by Emerald. So this is the class where we're starting to see a few new faces as well in terms of horsepower. Or a well-established winner here in Wellington and across the world, of course. A new combination for her into international with this ride. Certainly here in Wellington. Just pushes on to get the shot at the plank. Looking good so far from Laura. Leading time though, it's 67.11. May just have a little bit more pace on this than Jimmy Tarano. And just a little, somewhat smoother coming down this line. She should get a few seconds in front here. Laura Kraut going for a bite out of the lead. And it's going to be down to 65.96. And as I thought, there was plenty of space in there to get the time down from some of those early runners. It is into the lead now for Laura Kraut. And Emeraldo 4 for, again, the 9-year-old gelding by Emerald. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one take a little bit more off that, having seen them so far. Ashley Bond of Israel, and the Ashley Bond show jumping's Nightwish. Another 9-year-old here, but has flown around very efficiently so far, as Ashley is wont to do. Just the natural pace and style of riding. Very, very quick start ground speed-wise. Ashley, winner of the Coachella Cup, that $1 million class out in California last year, just drops that pole by the looks of it at the vertical. Night Wish, who got some good rounds underneath the belt in California before heading here. They were actually top 6 on week 3 in the 4-star in the Grand Prix qualifier there, so just on the 4. All right, who's the former winner of the Rolex Grand Prix here in Wellington. $65.96 from Laura Crowd is going to be a good indicator for time because she's going to be a little bit over that, 67.25, but still a good round. Just one down for Ashley Bond this time and Nightwish. Laura Crowd to the lead, Jimmy Tarano second, Katie Dinan in third, 65.96 leading time in this Bainbridge 150 Classic, $62,500. Jordan Coyle now. Really out of giving it a shot at class. And for the Falkirk farm, this is the 11-year-old mare Yuriska. Now, that's the type of class that might suit this pair and this horse's stage of its career. Former rider of Giampero Garofalo of Italy. Been with Jordan since, well, FEI-wise, since April of last year. Just giving some nice air space to the plank. Again, he's not going flat to the floor. Just giving the horse every opportunity, but I say first and foremost it's a jumping class as well. They try and get the angle in there, and it does just throw them a little bit to the right as they just square up. Coming home cleanly. Time-wise, a little bit behind the leading pack, but a nice round nonetheless. As I say, they get more space in the ring, more time in the ring at 72.71. Goes top 5 for Jordan Coyle this time. And the ride of Yuriska. Leaves Laura Crouch in front with Emeraldo on 65.96. Niamh McAvoy of Ireland, top 3 in the Grand Prix last week. With Jargon now another from the Greg Broderick team out of Ireland, and in fact this is owned by the North Star team of New York, with the Jacobs family. Trains with Greg Broderick. Extreme van der Kattenveen Z, the mare by Extra, which I remember was a Philip Arts horse. 10-year-old Zangazide mare for Niamh. She's actually been jumping over in Europe. In producing with Charlotte Jacobs has also ridden this horse a couple of seasons ago back into the shows in Canada. Start was with Deborah Jackson of Great Britain. Jumped in Spain and the end of last year. Again, very nicely put round so far. Just gets squared up for the fan vertical. Again, first week 5-star with this horse. But again, they've jumped a few 4-star competitions, so this would be sort of in their wheelhouse, all right. Going to be a little bit steadier, but very happy with the clean round. 74.94 into 7th for Neve McAvoy and Extreme van der Kattenveen and Z. And turn of Michael Morrissey now. Imperial Show Stables and Stormbridge Capitals. Ilton ML. Gelding by Clintissimo for Michael. Top 3 still Laura Crouch, Jimmy Torano and Katie Dynan. Michael having a good run as he's broken back into those top few big classes. Finished well in the Grand Prix, the 4-star Grand Prix last week as well with Incento SA. Ilton ML. Now another of those. The 11-year-old again from with the Saint Emel suffix that he's ridden before now. This one from Alessandro Fusi of Italy. He started riding last year. Nice forward rolling motion down to the planks as it stands, and it still stands. Michael got some good pace in here as they turn into the vertical. Maybe just the tiniest fraction. Just costing them a rail. It's all about finding the balance. Now a delicate drop there. This time is going to be okay. It's going to be around about 70.83. Just the 4 faults there into 9th so far for Michael Morrissey and Ilton ML. Okay, on to Brian Canan now of the USA and the Glenbeigh Farms James Blonde. Gelding by Nabab de Rev. Probably see why the horse has got its name. Now for Brian, this is again a horse that's done 2- and 3-star up to now. Previously with Patrick Lemont of the Netherlands. Last year competing with Brian. Finished well through several 2- and 3-star competitions. Now the next step up. But again, if we're talking 3-star, that's a similar, by the time we're into the Grand Prix, similar heights to what we're experiencing in these supporting 5-star classes. Just on the 4 at the moment. And again, this is a good opportunity with the coming weeks of the 5-stars as well for these horses to get out their experience of 5-star. Just that little step up. This again, being a speed, little less technical than experienced, say, in yesterday's Grand Prix qualifier. Just a different style, more flowing track. 69.55, 1 down, finishing on the 4 into 9th there for Brian Canan and James Blonde. But again, gives these riders and horses good opportunity there to get the space to the fences and really make a good job of it. Just drops the 1 fence. Lee Soken was in the mix yesterday for the Adequan Grand Prix qualifier as well, the WEF Challenge Cup. I Hopes Farms at Bonhomme Richard. This French-bred stallion by Katoki. Be surprised to see this pair feature well here. Did well on Forrestal yesterday. Of course, she's had some of her best results with Gelvera as well. She was top 3 in the World Cup qualifier in Traverse City last year with the Gelvera 2. Bonhomme Richard has been playing a very good supporting role to that horse, now 14 years old. Again, just keeping up some pacey enough ground speed, gets a nice little move in there over to the left. Just keeping it as tight as they can down to that related line. Leading time is 65.96. Not going to make that, but not going to be too far away either. Could be in the 60s here. For Elise Oken, sits up through the last 68.24 into 4th place for Elise Oken and Bonhomme Richard for another very solid performance from that pair. Drops behind Katie Dinan, Jimmy Turano and Laura Kraut so far. And so Nicolas Philipparts' second run around, this time with Derby de Riverland. French-bred gelding by Canaan has been the super winner for him. Now this should be right up their street. Looks like he's meaning business from the start. $62,500 class here certainly is plenty of money on the table to take a run in the 5-star. Can you see land swift move away to the left? Doesn't, and again as he's landing he's already going somewhere else. Oh, and unfortunately just a little quick flattened through that double. Just not making quite the jump at the first part. Still very efficient so far, just on the 4. And again, 4 faults might well leave them well in the money yet. Who knows? At the moment, it would put them in 9th place. So still in for some cash, but we'll see. But he's going to go round there because just keeping the rideability. Just going to be on the 4 then at 67.44. Again, maybe without the rail, they'd have taken a bigger shot at that. Who knows? We won't know now because they'll go into 10th place there. But that one is round done and leaves him into 10th spot. 2 down with Zelly Ride of Canuck de Muse. Emily Conter now for the Stefex Stables. Ocean Quality, the mare by Baltic VDL. Emily into our jump off yesterday as well with Portobello, but that was not going to quite work out as a turn there. Okay, quieten down, reapproach. There we go. Now just get back rolling as they were. Nicely through the double. Well done. Well-established pair here, but again, sensibly takes the outside run here just to really bring them home up with a confident round to finish off. Time-wise is going to have that added in there as well, but finishes well. Emily Conter, okay, early error for them, but recovered well from that, and again, we'll be able to build on that for the future. Ocean quality with some time to add in there too for Emily. Great Britain's Ben Mayer now in the equation for a second ride. Charlotte Roster and Pamela Wright's Dallas Vegas Batty, the lovely mare that he rode to Olympic gold, team gold in Paris for the next of our riders up. And world number 4. Now again, a horse that isn't going to need too much experience here, is just really getting a nice round underneath them, possibly for the Grand Prix tomorrow night. Just keeping them worked and match fit. Sitting on the 4 faults at this point, they say he's going to go on the outside line there. Really, I think, going to have their eyes on tomorrow. This will just keep them competition ready. And neat enough. A little bit of time to add there as well, 77.24, but as I say, the aim of the day, I think, is more about tomorrow. Good luck to them there. Ben Mayer, Dallas Vegas Batty, 13th today from that point of view. And that's our Grand Prix win already this season. This time with the Evergate Stables Donvier, the gelding by Don VHPZ. It's also been his wife Jennifer's ride through last year as well, through a chunk of the season. He taking over the reins in the second half of 2024. Finished very nicely actually through 3 and 4 stars for the pair of them so far this season. They actually were top 3 in the Grand Prix in Vancouver at the lovely venue up in T-Bird. So good start. Now he's leaning forward, the intention, I think, a bit of speed here. Just nicely, just giving enough over the ox, exactly what you want all the time, not wasting a single speck of a second, just a little bit of one there, with a little bit of a play around. I'm going to come on the inside here, as you'd expect. Just again, just tucking into that left side a little, but again, then they want to land here and they've got to go over to the right. And just picked up a rail in there. Unfortunately, not going to be far away from Laura Kraut's time. She's 65. Maybe just eased a fraction back on there, so he's going to be 66.84. Just finishing on the 4 there, Fernand Nasser and Donvier. Now, horse that impressed us early on in the season is Iron Maiden, that goes down the gelding by Clarimo, from Roberto Turan of Columbia and the Rocking Basilisk Farm of Kentucky. Going to be interested to see how this horse gets moved up throughout this year. It's looks so good so far. 10-year-old now by Clarimo. Nicely done so far on the grey. Just again, plenty of space to get to that plank. They just ride down that. Again, this has all been practiced at home, just to come down there on a nice, efficient, easy roll down there without any movement. This is looking pretty good so far from Roberto Turan. Leading time 65.96. He's going to be close. They might even just squeeze ahead of that. We will see. It's going to be down to the line 65.71 from Roberto Turan and Iron Maiden, again stamping their credentials on the 5-star competitions as they go into the lead now ahead of that of Laura Kraut. Laura Kraut into second with Emeraldo. Jimmy Torano in third with Cochio Z. So Coco Faith now. Hillside Farms, a long-time partner. Harley D, now 13-year-old gelding by Spartacus. We'll see how they perform here for the 24-year-old rider, who's a student at Cornell. Really coming back into the frame in her riding career. Finished well in the Grand Prix in Ocala back in December, and ridden up there for a number of times here in January in preparation before heading back here to Wellington. Just gets a little bit wider there, just gets out on the line. Nice centre shot by the time they finish the related distance. Again, would like to get home with a nice tidy clear. Oh, unfortunately just doesn't quite make that final vertical, and there we go. It's going to be on the 4. 68.99, just the one down for Coco Faith this time, and Harley D drops them into 13th position. Now, Tyser Owen of Australia for Michael and Wendy Smith with Venturo. Also jumped well yesterday with Hialita as they prepare for the big classes this season as well. Been working with Marcus Beerbaum in recent weeks as well, I understand. Marcus here training alongside wife Meredith. Good start for the Australian Olympian. Still looking pretty efficient so far. Going for a solid clear here with just a nice piece of pace on it. Ooh. Take the luck when it happens. Coming home cleanly. Time is going to be a little back from the leader, but it's been a good round for them overall. Going to see them just over 70. 71.37 for Tyser Owen. And Vanturo for Australia goes into 7th place so far. So still leading pack looks like this. Roberto Turan with Iron Maiden in front at 65.71. Laura Crowd in second. Jimmy Turano top 3. The grey in sight is called Inside of My Heart. It's the Holsteiner man, the 9-year-old for Mario Delory of Canada, owned by Aram Apagumium now. Thanks for the Canadian Olympian. Super ability. Will be really interested to see how this horse develops through this season. Here with the likes of Emerson, that of course took him to the Olympic Games again. Certainly looking a horse with talent, just really starting to step up into this level, and which is where Wellington's so good for that, to give them the opportunities to move through the ranks here and develop over the months. Just on the 4 at the moment, but maybe one to note in the books as well. There we go, good finish. Just on the 4, 68.94. It's 4 there for Mario Delory this time at Inside of My Heart. Goes into 14th place at the moment. First rise for Rodrigo Pessoa and the Artemis Equestrian Farms Este de Malgra, the mare by Vigo CC. First of 2 rides for Rodrigo here in this. He's got Major Tom coming up a little later as well. Got a really super string around him now. Thanks to the support of the Artemis team as too. Just goes somewhat wider there again, just giving, this is a partnership that's very new on the cards. From a ride of Alison Robitaille, and then very late on to last year with João Ferreira of Brazil. Rodrigo literally into their second show FEI-wise together, just on the 8 faults this time, 71.32. No, in fact, it's not Rodrigo at all for Brazil, it's Gabriel de Matos Machado. We'd skipped over Rodrigo. But anyway, finishes on the 8 faults, 71.32 for them. Apologies for that, it was due to be Rodrigo from that point of view. A bit far out for us to, seeing as they're going around, not the correct one. Gabriel de Matos Machado there for Brazil. Katie Dynan heads in again. Tika de Auvent. Now for the multi-World Cup winning rider for the Grant Road Partners of New York. Oh, just rubs that first fence. Clips a second there. Now getting back into their stride. Now gives him a chance to gather back up on this turn. Straightens up into this related line nicely enough. And out to the boards for this final run. I'm going to add some time there as well. 16 jumping, 10 for time, 84.09 this time for Katie Dynan and Tika de Auvent from that point of view. For Brazil, Eduardo de Menezes and Calypso de Martis. French break gelding by Paddock Duplessis. Eduardo with a huge string of horses as part of the H5 team, such a super producer of them. But winner of the 2-star Grand Prix, this pair together in Ocala just last week. That makes a step up here, but has had a couple down so far. And it's just at times dipped their toe into the supporting 5-star classes. There we go. Finishing on 2 down. 8 faults, 72.30. It's 8 there for Eduardo de Menezes and Calypso de Martis. But horses won plenty through right through to the 145s in that sort of area so far. Now making a step up in the 150s here, and of course we've seen him in the last few weeks with some exciting rides. You can see more from Hot and Spicy as well. It's in his string. Now to Alex Volpe and her long-time partner of Belinda, former rider of Hans-Dieter Dreyer of Germany, but that's going back a little while now. They've built a lovely partnership over the recent years, and horse now 17 years of age for a Cedar Fox of California for the 24-year-old rider. That headed over to Europe last year as part of our string. She's competed in Nations Cup for the US over there before now. Coming pretty efficiently so far. This is a nice speedy enough round from Alex. Could leave them well in up the placings here. Leading times, what, 65.71. Has a chance. Quick shot at the last. Could see them into a very good position here. Could it be enough? Could it be enough? 66.25 puts them into third. Third spot for Alex Volpe and Belinda. Still leaves Roberto Taran in the lead on 65.71. Laura Kraut in second with Emeraldo. Alex Volpe now into third spot. And Charlotte Jacobs heading on now with the North Stars Instrumental. 10-year-old Swedish bred ride by Qualandro. Such a good year last year as well for Charlotte. Building on that. String that's really coming to fruition that they've worked hard on. Instrumental jumping the 3-star Grand Prix back here a couple of weeks ago. Pairing that came together in 2023. Former ride of Shane Breen of Ireland as a young horse there. Just on the 4 for Charlotte at the moment. She is due to go late in this class as well, so down as the last to go. So has another shot at this in the prime spot. Just unfortunately pushes on towards the entrance with the pole down in the Oxer there. Coming home on the 8 faults. And last is going to drop as well. Just got a little bit undone towards the finish there. It's a total of 12.71, 61, 12 for Charlotte Jacobs this time. And Instrumental, as I say, she's got another ride to come in this Bainbridge Company's $62,500 class yet. And so with a break coming up, halfway stage, it is Roberto Taran leading with Iron Maiden. Second at this point, Laura Kraut and Emeraldo. Third to Alex Volpe and Belinda, we saw us most recent one to go in the top few. Up go the fences, in come the tractors any second now as well. Then we'll be back for our second half in just, what, about 12 minutes time for those in this Bainbridge Company's 5-star class. Part of our Fidelity 5-star week, as I say, top 10. Also counting towards qualifying for the Grand Prix as well, so that's good news for a few at the moment, but they have to wait and see because we're only at the 50% completed stage. Back in a few minutes.
I believe in goals. I believe in dreams. I believe in passion. Your success doesn't depend on a calendar. Your success depends on the passion that's burning inside of you each and every single day. You should not need a calendar to switch to another number for you to get motivated. If you're waiting for that to better yourself, if you're waiting for that to inspire, to be passionate, to grow, then you are setting yourself up for absolute failure.
Explain 17 years of outperformance in 30 seconds? It can't be done.
We can tell you that we founded Origin Investments because investors like us deserved a better option.
We're proud to be the largest investors at Origin.
Yet we've never made an investment decision in 30 seconds. We don't expect you to either.
So when you have more time, learn how Origin can help you generate passive income and grow your wealth.
The cowboy hustle is physically demanding. No doubt you gotta be tough. But even more important is your mental fitness. Your brain has to be firing on all cylinders to perform. to be clear, to concentrate, and to focus. I'm a father, a cowboy, a businessman, and a musician, and so much more. I drink Brain Java House Brew, packed with the brain power blend of essential vitamins and minerals my brain needs every day to get it done. Low in natural sugar, low in calories, low in carbohydrates, and low in sodium. It's a great natural and healthy alternative to energy drinks. Brain Java. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
Just about to return to action here on our Friday five-star feature. And we have a total of
Getting back underway as the tractors head on out, and it is so far leading our Friday afternoon $62,500 class. It is Roberto Turan and Iron Maiden in the driving seat so far. Will that remain with our second half coming up? And we will go to now Richard Vogel and the ride of Grossu du Pachy. For Cedar Fox, this has been the ride of Alex Volpe. Ran just the other day as well with Rishi Vogel in the saddle. And a former ride actually of Julien Epaillard. So they went very efficiently round just a couple of weeks ago here too. So this might be a hold on to your hats if this pair are anything like they were then. They started solidly so far. Just takes a little bit of a pull down to the first fence, which is actually the second fence, but first sponsorship. And then into the double well. Comes out of there in 13 seconds. Looking good so far and efficient for the rider. Again, up in the world's top 10. Current number 8. Smoothly done so far from Richie. Again, already on the turn, just to that right-hand bend. Keeps them off the mint green oxer. Nice tidy run in here. This is looking very good so far. 65.71 leading time. Might be in danger here. Just got to leave them up for Richie Vogel to see for the German rider. Just travels on through that double just a fraction. And so, as I say, time-wise, sees them at 62.91, which should have taken nearly 3 seconds off the lead. Drops the fence, though, just the 4 there for Richard Vogel of Germany. Grâce de Bachy. The gelding by Tinker's Boy. Zoe Conter now. Davidoff de Lassus for Zoe. The Stefex Stables. The gelding by Organa Seat for the 26-year-old. Getting us into a nice fired up start into the second half of this Bainbridge Company's 5-star 150. Richie Vogel still with his second ride to come down into the final 3 of this class a little later with Fenio. Okay, it gives them really a chance to get moving, get the steam up through the first few fences. Just got to get this double of verticals treat with a little more respect as they do. One just gives a little kiss to the plank. It's a shame. Just cuts down a fraction early there, getting into the turn to head for the cut in here. Just on the forefoot so far for Zoe. Coming home with one down, going to see them in the late 60s, 68, 88 there, just on the 4 there for Zoe Conter and Davidoff de Lassus this time around. So still leaves Roberto Turan in the lead at 65.71. Laura Kraut second. Alex Volpe third. She has another ride to come in this yet. Richie Vogel showing what time can be achieved down to 62.91. But 65.71 still the leading time. Of course, it's jumping first and foremost. Spencer Smith walking on in. The US rider riding for the Gotham Enterprises for Georgina Bloomberg with Cassina, the mare by Cassini. Now 14 years of age for this horse. Spencer riding on Georgina's behalf. Again, a horse that has been in Georgina's stable, and then Spencer picking up the ride for her as she takes a a break from the saddle for a short period. Again, one he hasn't. He's been competing with Copernicus and Talara Coal Mine in the FEI classes in the last few weeks. Again, the good thing is here they get, unfortunately, has the first fence, but say they have the opportunity of getting a few runs together in the likes of the national classes here in Wellington too. Just now getting them into good, nice pace, getting the round together just after that early rail. Again, takes the outside line, but just, again, giving them every opportunity here. This could be a nice building one over the next few weeks. Just drops a rail there. Actually, horse with tidy ability and just might be just a little bit of few more rounds on the partnership. It's just going to be a bit of time too. 8 jumping 4 times, 78.78 for Spencer Smith and Casino. I feel there'll be more to come from there through the season. Very early days, and Israel's Brittany Raflowitz now for the ride of Semi, for the mare by Copyright. Awesome fellow Israeli rider Ashley Bond. Takes us up to our 33rd. We had that one withdrawal of Rodrigo Pessoa a little bit earlier on. Of the 60 in total. Pretty efficient so far. Good confident run as they come into this Liverpool. Just getting a little to the right, just as they square up down there. It just cost them a couple of fences. Just gives it a push down to the last, gets a good shot at the final fence, but leaves them on 12. 67-64 for Brittany Raflowitz and Semi F, this time finishing on 3 down. Now Florette. Nicolette Hurd of the USA and the Chatwood Farms mare by Verdi Tien. Unfortunately also has the first. Now again, is now more established into the round. Nicolette having a really good season so far here in Wellington. Okay, he's had a couple down this time, but has produced some very good rounds so far into 2025. Coming home on the 8 faults for Nicolette. That first fence included in there. So on the 8 faults in total, 73.38 from them. Puts them a little further down the order. Top few remaining unchanged. Laura Crouch already into second place with Emeraldo. And heads on in again. Second ride for Laura this time with Surprise Farms. Très bien Z. Gelding by too long. Went very well in Ocala in the last few weeks as well for this 10-year-old. She's drying. Good so far. Really good move away from the silver birch fence. A little bit of encouragement at the Oxer. Oh, just the tiniest toe on the plank. Drifts a little bit coming off there. And Laura has picked up 4. Some of them I don't always, some of the fences are a little bit hidden, so I don't always see which one might have dropped. So just on the 4 there, likes that double of verticals. On the 4 at the moment, so sensibly just took a little bit off the gas. 4 it is at 72.66 for there for Laura Crowd and Très bien Z. And so puts it a little further down the order. She remains in second spot with Emeraldo 4. Luis Fernando Razabal currently topping our international leading rider list at the moment in the early stages of the season. Venezuelan with Victoria Tamata of Panama's Check Me Out PS, gelding by Chacun Blue. Going well so far. His partnership that started out last year. Worked through the 2 and 3 stars. Went to Spruce Meadows. Got some good experience there throughout the summer. Just a little steady into that double, unfortunately. Just puts them off their spot. Coming back on the 4 faults for Check Me Out and Luis Fernando Razabal. And just again gets too close up to that mint Oxer. Just lacking a bit of energy in those couple of fences now. They've got a chance to put it back together. There we go, steps through. Just reaches over that last fence. It is total of 16, 71.51 for Luis Fernando Razabal and Check Me Out for Venezuela. Carlos Guerrero now the top under 25 rider on the FEI ranking list right now. The H5 Sport Horses, H5 Nostalgie. Belgian bred gelding by Emerald also. And just pushes on through the second part of that double. Carlos had such a very good year last year, including through to squad for the Olympic Games. But some really good Grand Prix performances to build on for 2025. Just on the 4 faults for Carlos, so our top 3 are going to remain unchanged here. Like you say, top 10 also key there for qualifying for the Grand Prix as well this week. Carlos finishing on 4 at 74 to 122nd spot for the rider for Mexico with H5 Nostalgie. Iron Maiden, Emeraldo, Belinda top 3 still so far. Roberto Terran, Laura Kraut and Alex Volpe. Michael Duffy now for the G Sport horses. That's Genevieve Mayer. On a horse that was produced with the Shane Breen team, BE Skyhawk. By Shane's horse that Shane rode, Golden Hawk. With the Old Lodge team back in the UK. For Michael Duffy. Finished well in the Grand Prix in Ocala at the end of January as well. He had such a very good year on the Global Champions Tour last year too. A number of rides notably with Clapton Mouche. Oh, no. Looks like both okay. I can just see them from here as well, both up and all right. Yep, little dust off. Oh, just coming out there to get them checked out, but I tell you, Michael's just walking out with the horse. He's taking a few steps anyway. He's just adjusting the tack at the moment. See their team's just walking out to make sure they're all right. So Dan Reed there, head steward. And just walking out now. Probably going to appear in your screen in just a moment as well. Still just around 20 left to go in the speed here this afternoon. $62,500 Bainbridge Companies 150. As you can see, there you go. You get the shot of them both okay. Just waiting in the wings there. Should be Ireland's Max Watchman. Max Watchman then with Lexington. The Belgian bred gelding by Etalon for Susan Magnair. Family-owned ride. Max, who's been on the winning teams in the Nations Cup here in Wellington before now. Now for the 21-year-old, having stepped up another gear again. Nicely round so far. Clear-wise, 11 of those at the moment. It's a little bit steadier on time, but is a good round for jumping, which is key first and foremost. Going to be about mid-70s in terms of time. And so going to be over the line with a couple to add for time. Goes into 12th place, 76.06, but a nicely put together round for Max Watchman and Lexington this time around. Just puts them on the 2 time faults behind Niamh McAvoy and Extreme from our clear list. Now it is Rodrigo Pessoa Brazil, the Artemis Equestrian Farms Major Tom, the Clark family's gelding by Vagabond de la Pomme. Winners of the President's Cup at Washington last year. Love to see this horse in action again. With all the credentials for some really big finishes, and has delivered on a number of those so far, like I say. This 12-year-old right in the prime. It's had a little bit of a break. Now returning here as part of this 5-star week. In fact, last international competition was the President's Cup. Just giving the horse a breather before getting into the big competitions coming up over the next few weeks. You see just a lovely tidy pair together, and again the benefit of a long-term partnership going well. It is just over 70.57 into 8th place for Rodrigo Pessoa and Major Tom. I'm sure we'll be happy enough with that as a start back in. Lily Keenan. Now for the 28-year-old Chili Pepper, HMZ. Stallion by Corner Dobolensky. Now the 10-year-old for Lily in the Chansonnet Farm of New York. Nope, definitely Lily Keenan. There we go. It's a pair that could have a run here. Looking forward to seeing later on in the season her with Kick On again as well. That went so well last year. But she's got a, again, good string around her, having really worked on the last couple of seasons. Just gets a little forward into the turn there. Just try to come at a little bit of a tighter angle, just doesn't quite come off. Coming home on the 8 faults. There we go, 8 faults in total for Lily Keenan and Chili Pepper. 70.59 for them. That's a 42nd of 60 in the class. In fact, just under 59. Just heads down for the in-gate. Alex Matz. Winner in Toronto last year of the World Cup there. The family's gelding by Cassini Cashew CR. In fact, that is not Alex Matz, that's Christian Kuckuck of Germany. Let's go to the Olympic champion. That was what was down on the list, but Christian Kuckuck goes now. For the world number 6. Comildano E for the Beerbam Stables, the Holsteiner gelding by Comilfo. Now Christian might well mean business here. We'll see how as we go. Again, new one into this level for him. Going to be very interested to see him jumping Sapanu Balubay later on into the season here as well. Just been getting together as a partnership there. Of course, the ride that was with Richard Fogel. Just with that blue Oxer dropping down, putting them on the 4 at the moment. That's a new pairing together from that point of view for Christian. He, of course, gets into the Grand Prix pre-qualified as the Olympic individual gold medalist. The individual medalists automatically through into the 5-star Grand Prix. He'll probably go early, though, as pre-qualified. Didn't jump in the Grand Prix qualify yesterday, but as we've seen before, early suits him if that's how it ends up in the jump-off as well. So we will see. Natalie Dean making her appearance in the centre there. US rider of the Marigold Sport Horses Oasis van der Buxtail. The mare by Quinn, another one who's added already wins this season here in Wellington. As we talked about yesterday with Ali Wolf, she went so well too with a Kota M here last year as well. Looking forward to seeing how she fares in the 5 stars this time around. One in this, again, same class, but for the 4-star here at the end of January. That was with .com. Unfortunately, has the fence down at the Silver Birches. So having had 4 at this time, is going to decide to retire there for Natalie. So top few remain unchanged. Top 10 sees the likes of Jordan Coyle in there, Tyser Irwin, Rodrigo Pessoa, Ben Mayer, Elise Soak, and a few of those that were in qualifying yesterday already. Katie Dinan, Jimmy Tarano, Alex Volpe, Laura Kraut, and then the top of the list at the moment is Roberto Tarano and Iron Maiden. Touch delayed. Looks like Alex Matz now. For whatever reason, whether the horse lost a shoe, whatever it was. Alex with Didi Matz's Cashew CR for the Toronto World Cup winner. Now another with a good experienced horse at 17 years of age. Just a little pop on the plank as well, and I think he might say, I'm not sure whether he's going to retire or just take a circle at this point. Looking more like a circle. There we go. And just going to keep down this line. There we go, looking for a good finish. Yeah. So going to be a little bit of drift in terms of score, but gets a solid finish for them there for Alex Matz and Cashew CR. Canadian rider and Olympian Amy Miller now of the Brook Street Stables. GCS Athena for the Irish bred mare by Vigo Dessuet. Still some potentially quick ones to come down towards the tail end of this class. Got around 14 left to go. Often running through the first few. Oh, just unfortunately bobs through the first part of the double. Again, vertical there, needs just enough respect there and will easy drop. And again, a second vertical dropping for them. On the 8 foots for Amy, and just again getting things, deciding they're not quite working out today, so decides to retire at this point. Alina Haas now of the USA, and the super partner of Claude that we saw yesterday. All right, go back of David Blake. And a 13-year-old Westphalian gelding by Captain Jack that's been with her for a little while now. Smooth start. Good through the double. Nice partnership now. They've had So good amount of time together. These things take time to build. That's a good move away from there. Just keeping so good. Just unfortunately, just tried to take that a little bit on the angle and ran out of space. And just tries to push on down through that line and pulls it off behind. On the 8 for Elena now. Time-wise, not too far away. 65.79. Bear in mind the lean time 65.71. It was a good round in terms of pace, and she gave it a good shot. But unfortunately, it is 2 down en route. 8 faults there for Elena Haas and Claude. Now Tana Karotkin over onto the side of the arena. Claude Minicus is Cardozo 4, gelding by Colestus. It's actually a beer balm horse. Had a good year last year with Kinmar Quality Hero as well that we saw yesterday. That former ride of Jess Mendoza won a Grand Prix in Traverse City with that pairing together. There's a pair that jumped in the 150 Classic here at the end of January in the MS series. Actually not only really this year, started jumping this horse in the last few weeks. In terms of the FEI classes anyway. .16 as it stands, and I think he's going to call it at that. So retiring there for Tana Karotkin and Cardozo 4. So Alex Volpe once again now, already top 3 with Belinda, and now riding Cedar Fox of California's Quanando B&V, stallion by Canan. Out of a mare that was My Way, which was going back to Emerald once again for the 24-year-old. That came to her back in 2023 was being ridden by Gilles Thomas, who we'd seen so successful with last year with his string, super producer of horses, and then last year this pairing coming together. Again, still only a 9-year-old for this stallion. Still cleanly so far for Alex and Quanando B&V. Just make sure as they hit the accuracy angle over, just loses the back to have down the vertical. Going to bring them home on just the 4 faults. 72.97 for Alessandra Volpe there, and Quanando B&V. Getting close to a final 10. Ansgar Holters Jr. next for Good Einhaus with the gelding, the now 10-year-old Pixel K. For the 19-year-old rider. They were top 5 in the Grand Prix for those that were following here last week as well. They're on the grass in the Mars Equestrian Grand Prix. And comes through the verticals already, looking for that Oxer to get round on the left corner to it. That's a nice turn back around again. Flat work coming into play there as well as they're efficient on the ground. Just has the bend and the balance. Works with trainer René Tebel and of course family as well. Coming home nicely. Good round from Ansgar Holters Jr. and Pixel K. 67.28, going to put him into 5th place again. Top 5 for him in this class at the moment. 10 left to come in this Bainbridge sponsored 150 this afternoon. Still led by Roberto Turan and Iron Maiden. Laura Crouch and Emeraldo and Alessandra Volpi and Belinda top 3 at the moment. So, Niall Nassar, Brian Canan, Keane O'Connor, Michael Duffy still to come, Conor Regan, Gabriel Amandas Machado, Jordan Coyle, Richard Fogel, Zoe Conte, and finally Charlotte Jacobs down on the original list as our 10 remaining. Niall with the Evergate Stables Ivory TCS is mare by Falaise de Muse. Still leading time and a beatable time, 65.7. Well, we've seen faster, but that's very easy to say because you've got to leave all the fences up there on the way. So as a couple of riders have been more efficient in terms of time. They've had rails on the en route. Right, for this former ride of Daniel Coyle. Last year into the string of the Evergate team. Been really good in similar classes to this as well, so this is where they could come right into their own. Finishes the jump nicely over the silver birches. Again, just that balance between not cutting in too tight. Again, Niall getting them ready just on the right there to make the turn back soon as they land. Looking good so far. Time to beat 65.7. Well, like I say, it is beatable. And this pair could well do that if they keep coming to the last all right. Could be about 64 if they play their cards right. 65.11. Okay, it's a little bit longer than that, but it is enough to go into the lead for Niall Nassar and Ivory TCS. So new leader, not a huge surprise from them. Like I say, it's very much in their remit, their wheelhouse. That would be one that would be right up their street, this type of class. And so Niall Nassar takes over the lead for Egypt. Brian Canan now. US rider's second ride with the Glenbeigh Farms first choice, HT. Gelding by Favourite Arse, the Danish bred ride. Unfortunately, has the Oxer down on the turn there. Just looking through some of those, looking to qualify for the Grand Prix tomorrow as well, because Laura Crack yesterday was outside of the qualifying, sitting in third now. She's looking pretty good to qualify today as part of the top 10 here. When we're looking at our top ranking riders, and Brian Canan, I think he's going to pull up there yet with First Choice HT. Just leaving us 8 left to go.
Representing Ireland here, Cian O'Connor, who is the 14th ranked rider in the world. Aboard his today, Ravana 6AG, Angelo Henry's flying for the Carlswood of Ireland.
Another one who's just outside the qualifying at the moment. Just take a look at defence there for Cian O'Connor of Ireland. Carlswood partners Lambada Shake. Stallion by Agonix de Seigneur on the 9-year-old here. First of 8 left to go. Oh, unfortunately, just has a reach at the first. I think he might be. Yeah, it's decided that's not going to work out today, so deciding to retire. We've seen some good rounds with them so far, but Cian knowing when is right for them and when is not. So swiftly moving on to Michael Duffy for the Rushy Marsh Farm, RMF Clinton's son, stallion by Clinton. It's the 13-year-old for Michael on his second spin here. Got height, just didn't get enough stretch, unfortunately, at the Oxer. Deciding to pull up there as well for Michael Duffy and RMF Clinton's son.
The weigh-in for our international arena is one here, Conor Regan for Ireland. He rides the Welsh horses. This is Manchester. 12-year-old Montgomery, the 13-year-old by the Welsh horses of Delaware.
So Conor Regan now. And the Del Shaw horses, Manchester, 6 remaining. We're in the 2-star Grand Prix qualifier just the other day for this pair. His second a good Grand Prix in October in Tryon. Regan then to take a run at the current leader. Nal Nassar having taken over the lead with Ivory TCS. Roberta Turan in second now. Laura Kraut in third. Just unfortunately tries to narrow that down as well to put them with another fence down on the 8 at the moment. That's going to leave us with 5 left to go. And 8 falls at 67.65, not far away for time. Would have been a top 6 time, but unfortunately, 2 fences down, in fact, in total 8 faults for Conor Regan and Manchester this time around. Final 5 could still well change this lead because we've got Richard Fogel coming up, Jordan Coyle, and those coming into view, Gabriel de Manos Machado of Brazil, Legoland Sandro, and by Kristen Kopp Real Estate, and Baywinds Equestrian. Zoe Conter, Charlotte Jacobs still on the list as well. Good through the first few now. Just has to take a little care at these doubler verticals, and unfortunately that's where they fall into the trap. Just trying to push to go forward. Fast roll back around, but again just leaves the toes on the Mintoxer. Jumps in well on the 8. Ooh, a little bit. A swinging run into the double. Gives it a good shot on the way around though. So it's going to be 71.87 on the 8 faults there for Gabriel de Manos Machado and Legoland Sandro. So coming into our final 4 on the list, still Nal Nassar leading, Roberta Turan second, Laura Crouch in the top 3 positions. Top 10 at the moment for Rodrigo Pessoa and Major Tom. Jordan Coyle now. And Keep Me With You NC. Mare by Le Dotter Semi is the 10-year-old again for the Falkirk Farm. Again, not really seen this one much before either. Won the 2-star Grand Prix up in Toronto up in November. Also came through the Netherlands. Actually been with Jordan Coyle for a couple of seasons, but not done a huge amount. Oh, and just unfortunately doesn't get the shot there. There we go, give them space back round. Keeps our top 10 unchanged though. So if you're going to be looking close there for qualifying for the Grand Prix. So it's going to be plus some time here as well. 8 jumping and 8 for time, so doubles up to 16, 82, 33, 16 for Jordan Coyle this time. And Keep Me With You, NC. 3 left to come. Richard Fogel, it is Zoe Conter and Charlotte Jacobs. All 3 capable of getting ahead of Niall Nassar's current time, 65.11. We will see Richard Fogel and the world number 8 now with Fenio, stallion by Corridon van TNL. For the 10-year-old Fahey. German rider looking to see the flag at the top of the flag mast once again if they can. Oh, and that's dropped. Just unfortunately 4 at the double of verticals for Richard Fogel. So again, top 10 will remain unchanged. Rodrigo Pessoa in 10th at the moment. Elise Soken in there. Of course, she went well yesterday as well, so she was in for qualifying. Top 10 not already qualified coming out of this. Going to come home on the 8 faults. 64.86, faster time than the leaders, but it is 2 down for Richard Fogel and Fenio this time. And first of those 2 remaining, remember it was top 30 from yesterday, qualifying into the Grand Prix as well. Richard Vogel actually was 31st yesterday, because we've already got Christian Cooker as pre-qualified, so not so sure. We'll get that updated later. But they're in. I think they might well find their way in yet, but we'll see. Richard Vogel, Derek Kenny, both all in that danger. Those are from some of our highest ranked riders I'm referring to. 31st and 32nd yesterday. Zoe Conter and Tom Bowler there by Toulon for this Supermare for the Stefex Stables. Jumps the plank well. Richie Vogel both times has showed us that the leading time is a beatable one. But unfortunately, in the same vein, all of them have to stay up. Just catches the rail there to put them on the 4 for Zoe Conter and Tombola Z. So we'll just leave Charlotte Jacobs left. Nal Nasser still leading. There we go, just on the 4 faults. Time not far away, 66.04. Bearing in mind our time 65.11 is the leading time. That would have gone into 4th otherwise. But one fence down just on the 4 there for Zoe Conter and Tombola Z. One to go is Charlotte Jacobs and North Star New York's Thomas Court. Bally Patrick. 10-year-old gelding by Belus de Roy. Now we'll see what her plan is. Has a shot. Door is still slightly ajar of that of Niall's time at 65.11. They finished top 3 in the 150 Classic here in mid-January. It's a nice start. We'll see whether it's pacey enough to have an impact. Oh, just trying to really get in on the turn there and catches the imitation birch on the way through, unfortunately for them. So that means Nal Nasser will be our winner with Ivory TCS. She decides to pull up. Well, gave it a good shot. Charlotte Jacobs' final one there with Thomas Court, Bally Patrick. So it's a win for Nal Nasser of Egypt and Ivory TCS. Second spot to Colombia and Roberto Turan with Iron Maiden to conclude this Bainbridge sponsor class. Laura Kraut will finish in 3rd with Emeraldo. Time ticking away at 12:05, just into the afternoon. Here in a lovely sunny Wellington here in Florida. And as they head out ready for the presentations, let's give you the rundown of the top few. It is Nal Nasser, Ivory TCS, the winner for Egypt. It is Roberto Turan in 2nd for Iron Maiden. Top 10, because you're probably looking at that also with regard to some of the qualifying for the Grand Prix as well. Laura Kraut in 3rd with Emeraldo. 4th place to Alex Volpe and Belinda. Jimmy Torano, Cochio Z. Ansgar Holches Jr. and Pixel K. 7th place going to Katie Dine and Amiro BZ. 8th to Elise Oken, who was in the frame yesterday in the qualifier, of course, in the jump off there. Bonhomme Richard, Ben Mayer, Corlanda, and 10th place to Rodrigo Pessoa and Major Tom. Will put them in the frames come Saturday as well. Concludes, well, bar the presentation for this $62,500 Bainbridge Company's 5-star class as they get ready to head out. Nal Nasser is your winner. Adds another win this season already. Has a very good start to 2025. Very well done to him. And about to head in for the awards with Ivory TCS. Very well done. It is a 5-star win for the rider representing Egypt.
Top 2 about to return for our awards ceremony. We'll head to the Bainbridge Oxford, the final fence here in our one-round competition, as we'll honor some of the very best in our equestrian sports, show jumping at its finest at the 5-star level here on our Fidelity Week, and the culmination of our competition brought to you by the Bainbridge Companies. 2 joining us for our award ceremonies here on our early afternoon of our Wellington International Friday schedule. Congratulating in second place, representing Columbia Iron Maiden, Roberta Turan for our second place in the Rocking Basilisk Farm of Lexington, Kentucky. The Red Ribbon Ride in second place. And now on to the winning performance. To congratulate for Egypt and Al Nassar and the Evergate Stables Ivory TCS for the win here today. That's warm blood mare, the 12-year-old from the Evergate Stables of Wellington. So in the winner's circle here today, and ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please rise at this time. We honor the country of Egypt with the playing of the national anthem.
Congratulations again to our rider representing Egypt. Now Nassar will lead us off with our round of honor. We'll congratulate our top 2 here in the Bainbridge Company's 5-star competition. And off with the win, a blue ribbon ride for Niall Nassar. Congratulations again as we are setting for a 2-star competition ahead of us. The 2-star Grand Prix qualifier will be our next and final daytime competition here on Friday.